Okay, so the new convertible top has arrived. It's a Sierra auto top. It has glass rear window with the defroster. It also has a little bit thicker material, supposed to make it a little quieter inside when the roof is up. It was supplied by Auto Tops Direct. I ordered it through Amazon. It did take about 3 weeks for it to arrive. And when I opened it, I found there was no instructions. I looked on the website for Auto Tops Direct, got a contact phone number, gave them a call. They said, yeah, normally these go out to professional installers who don't need the instructions, so we're saving paper, and I respect that. They got my email address, emailed me a link to a PDF set of instructions. Looks like very good instructions. I'm not gonna waste my ink and paper on that, so I'm gonna just follow along on my computer. Here we go. Okay, so to begin, put the top in service position, a few inches off from being closed. You're gonna wanna remove these shield guards from either side. This is the passenger side one. Here's the driver's side one right here. They just snap on. They are plastic, 20-something-year-old plastic, so do be careful. And if you haven't already, use some Armor All or some other kind of plastic cleaner, protect it, and clean these things up, make them last a little longer. Next, you'll want to remove 6, 3 from either side, 10 millimeter nuts from this clamshell or tonneau cover. And then you're going to want to sit this out of the way someplace safe. You don't want to get it scratched up. Next, you're gonna want to go in. I had to slide the top, open the top a little further to expand this gap. And I'm going to use a flathead screwdriver and try to get this top piece of rubber, this rubber trim, out. Stick it in the bottom under there. It's got a little bit of adhesive on it, so it's a little bit to get started, but once you've got it, try not to rip anything. And then just to there, because on the corner it's actually screwed in. Next, we're going to take a T25 star bit. There are 5 screws on a piece of plastic trim up here. We're going to remove those. So once you've got all 6 screws out, go ahead and with a trim tool, or I'm using a tiny little flathead screwdriver, start trying to pry this plastic header piece out. Try not to hurt the rubber seals. So this rubber piece is stuck pretty good to this header. And I said this header was plastic. It's not. I think it's aluminum. And next, there are 4 T15 screws up in here, little black ones that are very hard to see. So I've got the flashlight. Put them in your organized pile. Okay, so my very good instructions went a little bit awry right here. It didn't mention, but go ahead and take the corner screws out on either side. They're also the, what were they, T25s, I think, or, yeah. So you'll have a total of 8 screws, not 6, all the way across here. I've removed the metal strip. We removed the 4 T15 screws from here, and we're to remove this metal piece. I started this metal piece with my little tiny flathead screwdriver. It's it's got a piece of rubber that's trying to stick to it. I think, go ahead and pull that rubber out too. There's some adhesive here. I'm not sure if that rubber's supposed to pull out yet or not. It wants to up here though. But yeah, so here's this metal piece. I'm gonna sit it with my other protective pieces. And yeah, I really think this is supposed to go ahead and come on out and come on down. There's more adhesive in this corner. Okay, good. All right, so I'll jump over and do the other side and have that off. So once again in the instructions, I'm not really understanding. They were talking about 4 different size, or 4 screws, and one screw may possibly be longer, or they're different sizes, and to keep them, make a note of which hole the different length screw goes in. All 4 of those screws came out, they were the same length. Now I've got 4 Phillips head screws, and I thought, well, maybe that's where I'm gonna find the different length screws. I just took them out of the passenger side, and they were all 4 the same length, and they are just Phillips head screws. All black, all the same length. All right, so next we're gonna start removing the canvas top from this front header bow. The bows are the ribs that go across the width of the car. So this front one here, we're just gonna get our fingers underneath, and there's a lot of spray adhesive on this. So in places, you really gotta pull on it, and I'm trying to hold it in place with one hand and pull with the other. It's not easy to do. Okay, next there's an aluminum plate. In here, a thin piece of aluminum, and they want you to remove it. I don't have a metal scraper or putty knife, but I'm gonna try to get this plastic one underneath. I just don't want to bend this piece of aluminum, because I got a feeling you will never get it bent, there we go, get it bent back without leaving some sort of hump or something that you'll see in this area. I should say the instructions, they tell you to get a 3M product, a spray adhesive. I think it's called Super Trim. And if that's what they've used here, this is a very good product, because I am tired just from trying to pull this out. Here we go. We got to a cut in the canvas. So we'll drop this down. There's the cable, and the cable runs into a spring here, and then there's a screw. And what they want you to do is to cut the shrink wrap from around the spring and remove it. I said shrink wrap is actually heat shrink. There. Now, all right, now you take it off so that you can disconnect the eyelet of the cable from the spring itself. And I think I've managed to do this, keeping it in very good shape. Okay, so here's these 2 aluminum pieces. This is the driver's side here. Yeah, it will go like this behind the car. And the spring you detach. You kind of got to be careful down on this end here where that cable runs through, but it's got some felt pad and all. Now there is a screw at the other end of this cable going through the other eyelet at the end of this cable. It is a T25. I had to let the convertible top back a pretty good bit just so I could get a screwdriver to it. And there's not only a screw, but there's also a star washer that's kind of biting into the canvas material. All right, so you got the screws out. The next step is this main rubber strip here along the back. So it's this rubber strip here that's along the bottom. And it looks like it ends here, but the bottom of it is still in the track all the way to the end down here. And so I've been sticking the small screwdriver in and prying up. And I have just a little piece of it started, and I'm gonna work it. Oh, that's sharp. Okay, so now with both hands, there we go. Very dirty. We'll just go ahead and pull it out carefully all the way down. And now with a lot of dirt to get in the cuts. Yeah, definitely be cleaning this up and having to vacuum all that out. So now what you want to do is detach the cloth from down in here. And I actually had to let the top up a little bit so I could get to this bottom corner. Start pulling on this. Very tight down through here. Goodness. This last little bit is very hard. There we go. All right, and now you see this rubber strip here is going to come out. Yeah. All right, so there's they call it a lock-in strip running right here at the base of this fabric. Using this pick to try to get this started. Here it comes. Holy cow, this thing's gonna be hard to get back in, I have a feeling. Very small. Okay, so with that out, we'll go ahead and remove this. And believe it or not, this is part of the convertible top that has just let loose. So next you're gonna slide this part out. There's a bead down here that's in a channel, and I had to let the convertible top back some so that our eyelet on our cable's not bound up in the mechanism. There we go. Oof. Uh-oh. Okay. The next step would have been slide this up and out, but oh, it is still in there. I actually ripped it out. So there's a piece here that I pulled so hard I tore off. So at this point, the instructions say to go ahead and remove the top from the two bows, or from the bow at the top. But mine actually has staples in the edge of the plastic window going to, I don't know if that's elastic. If it is, it doesn't have much stretch to it, but yeah, I guess I'll just, for now, pull the staples loose and leave it like that. So the fabric is supposed to be in this bow here. And let me slide it out from the other side, maybe. Oh, it just pull loose. Okay, so I couldn't really figure out the new top having glass is only attached with a single bow. If you've got a plastic window, it would be just like the original and have an attachment on two bows. Well, I kept looking and there's no place to attach, and I realized, oh, this is another piece of fabric that has just let loose from the old original top. Okay, so first step in installing the new top is to plug in the new rear window defroster wiring. They give me a short wire and a long wire plug, and of course the long wire is going to be routed around to the passenger side. Okay, so the outlet is here behind the driver's seat. You can see here's the top of the seat belt. And if you look right here, you'll see a little rectangle. There's a little tab sticking up. Grab that tab and give it a pull, and that raises up the top. So the plug will only go in one direction. So I've got that plugged in now, and I'm gonna route these wires. Like I said, the longer wire goes to the passenger side, obviously. And in the instructions, look like they have gone underneath this storage box just to kind of, I guess, get it hidden. So here it is, the new convertible top. Smells interesting. Not a bad smell at all, but very new. It says to lay it out. Up here, I gotta be careful of the glass. I have, by the way, vacuumed all the stuff back here. It's very clean. About, I don't know, 14, 18 inches down from the front, you're gonna find this piece here. What we're gonna do is start sliding it in for this bow. Just gonna start feeding it in from one end. Hopefully, it'll slide very nicely across. There's a metal clip right here in the middle, and it seems to be having trouble getting past that. Metal clip, and this is the channel I'm supposed to be sliding down, but the fabric's hanging on the clip here. So what I finally did to get past there, I stuck my screwdriver a few inches ahead, and I just barely pried open the gap a little more, and with my other hand I pulled, and it's coming through. So I just keep moving the screwdriver down and prying a little bit, because this is plastic and it's old plastic and I don't want to damage it. But that seems to be working. All right, so the fabric is shorter than the bow. So I'm gonna leave about a ½ inch, it looks like, on either side here. This is actually, we'll go 3/4 of an inch on either side because I got a little more on this side than that side, but we'll center it all up later. Next, it says to attach the connectors to the defroster. And they're going to be underneath this protective foam here. All right, so the one for the driver's side. Okay, so there's a little black rubber tube protecting a copper connector. I don't guess it's really going to matter which way it goes because it's only a single connector. So there's kind of a flat end. And I'm going to slide it on that way. Once again, find the flatter side. Plug. Get the plug on there. Oh, that one clicked in, sounded good. This carefully back down. Okay, so under here on this side, we have this strap. You have a pin, rivet, something pops up here. We're going to take the hole in this strap, put it on the rivet. Should fit on there pretty well. Yep, on. And then push that back in. Look up under here and make sure, yeah, it looks like everything gonna lay down pretty flat. Okay, so now I'm gonna take, you can use an awl or a ice pick, or I'm using just a regular pick is the only thing I have. It's not really big enough for round. I'm gonna kind of judge the center of this tab. I'm not really sure why there's not already a hole made here, but you have to make your own hole. So you got canvas, and then I think there's like a layer of neoprene and another layer of canvas. So it's not the easiest thing to job a hole through. And then I'm going to take smaller sized Phillips head, because the screw that goes in here is bigger than that pick that I just jobbed through. There we go. So I have my screw, and it is tight going through this eyelet, but it will go through. And then you have this star washer that will bite into the fabric. And start feeding that with your T25. There we go. Okay, and then the next thing is to take this piece here, and there's a channel around the back side of this, so you have to wrap this around and drop it down in there, and it has proven to not be the easiest thing for an amateur to do. My first timer. Wow. So the other side gave me fits. That was beautiful. I hope you have all yours that easy. Next, there's another little piece of piping here, and it's going to go in this channel right here that you can kind of see. And I'm probably going to have to get it started and then back the convertible top back. I need to get it back anyway so I can get this screw into there, but let's see if I can do this. Oh yeah, you're gonna have to pull and stretch this joker. There we go, I've got it started. Now let the top back a little bit. Maybe I'll be able to get that screw in there. There we go. That's anchored in. Don't know if I can catch that hole from here. I may have to let it down a little more. All right, finally. So I had to let the top back a little more, and I actually had, I guess when I put this piece in, I pulled this down a little too much, so I had to pull this up about an inch, inch and a half, and I was able to line that hole up. And so now the cable is in tight. So back here, you will want to find the center line. You can measure maybe from this rivet to the rivet on the other side and find the center. I got close to finding it and then realized somebody has already scribed a little mark in here to be my center point. Then the bottom of your roof, there are two flaps. This inside flap has a little rubber piece, and you're going to insert it. Kind of hard to explain. So you've got this little track piece here, and then above it is a much deeper groove. Stick it in the much deeper groove, and then my material comes together right in the center, and there's also a little V-notch cut out in the center here, so I know that it's the center of the roof. So I'm going to insert that straight down into there, starting in the middle, and working my way a little bit on both sides until I've got it all in. So I'm having trouble with this jumping out of the channel. I think some of it's the weight of the glass. So what I'm doing is just making some little cardboard wedges. And as I go along, every few inches, I'll shove one in to hold it in place for now. I've cleaned and armor-alled this little piece that's going to hold that in place. There is a, I guess when it was made, there's a little hump, I guess, showing you where the center line is. And then you've got one edge of this has got more of a point and the other end is more blunt. So obviously you want to stick the point down in the hole, just like any other kind of wedge. But yeah, line that center. Pull these out. So line that center up with your center line there. Trim it in. It would be nice if I had some kind of a roller to push that in. My thumbs are going to be sore. Unfortunately. Really tight all of a sudden. I don't know why, but this corner seems to be harder than the straight. I'm afraid to hit it too hard. I don't want to warp anything. I don't want to cause damage to the glass. There it goes. All of a sudden, for no reason, it's working. Alright. Okay, now I'm taking this piece of rubber stripping here. It goes in the channel just below where I inserted both the roof and the little narrow strip. You'll notice that this has a short flat side and it has a flat side, and there's a long end and a short end. The short end goes down, long end goes up. And I found the center and I'm just working it into the channel. Now I did scrape off all of the adhesive off of this flat side, but I did not clean it with any Armor All because I'm going to have to either use an adhesive or a two-sided tape on it here in just a moment. So I didn't want anything that would keep it from sticking. There's a little bit of a bear to. It's sort of smushy, so it's hard to tell if it really went in the channel or not. Slide it into place pretty easily. Yeah. Next, I'm going to take some 1/2-inch two-sided tape, and in this large channel under here, I'm going to stick the tape kind of up in the upper part, and then I'm going to use some spray adhesive, I think, actually, on this and the underside here. And what'll happen is I'll pull all this around, the spray adhesive will do its trick, and then this last little piece of cloth will tuck up in there onto the two-sided tape, and that'll be our finished edge then at that point. So I'm going to use this enormous piece of plastic that I had used once for a drop cloth in my house. Tuck it as best I can under here, and hopefully it'll save me from getting any glue overspray onto the roof or the glass window. Okay, so the spray adhesive, the tip can be adjusted for a horizontal or a vertical, and I'm hitting both pieces at one time. So I'm doing a vertical. And what you'll do is let this sit until it becomes just tacky. It won't actually stick to your finger or anything, but it'll stick to itself really well. And then at that point, we'll curl it under. I'll peel I already have the double stick tape up under here, and I'll peel the outer protective cover on it. And once the glue becomes tacky, we'll then wrap that around. We'll get it as tight into there as we possibly can. Okay, so everything is got to a tacky point. I've removed the outer cover of the tape. I'm starting in the middle. I'm going to pull this down and tuck it in. I'm using my putty knife, whatever you want to call it. And work with a little bit of speed. I don't want the glue to stop being sticky. This curve is kind of weird because the material is going to be kind of folded up on itself underneath here. Okay, so there's this last piece here. I've cleaned it up pretty good, although now that it's dry, it's still showing some dirt. But to the best of my memory, I don't know if you're seeing this properly, but I think it goes this direction here. It'll go in just like that, and this little rolled edge will come up against the canvas top. Start trying to put it in. And it is a dry fit. It's not getting any kind of glue or... There we go. Looks good. Give it a nice finished look, and my seam is pretty even. It kind of disappears in this corner and then pops back up, but it's pretty even all the way across. I'm pretty pleased with that. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put this clamshell or tonneau cover or whatever you want to call it back on, because it is 8 o'clock at night and I am tired. I've been going at this since probably about 1:30 this afternoon, and I could wait on this, but I just thought I'd go ahead and get it on and get it up out of the floor, and that'll be just a few less things I need to move around before I go pick my wife up from work. Anyway, oh, also I cleaned the foam and paper out from around the rear glass as well. Oh, one more note on this tonneau cover. When you take it off, it was painted after it was put on. So underneath where the support is, there is no paint. So just when you put it back on, try to line up the painted and unpainted parts before you tighten it down. Because when you close it, then you might have a bigger or smaller gap around here. And all you really need to do is let it back up the next time. And if you need to go back, just loosen your bolts, pull it back a little bit, and then tighten them down. But that should be it. And I'll be back tomorrow to finish the front of the top.